This week on the Racer X Show, the AMA Pro Flat Track Championship lead changes again. See what happens. Only 5 points of difference in GNCC ATV. We show you how that happened. We chat up 2014 GNCC National Champ Kailub Russell. And where's Ryan Villopoto going? Motocross of Nations news, MotoGP results, and more. Hello and welcome to the Racer X Show presented by Chaparral Motorsports. I'm Greg. Thanks for joining us here on our racing highlight and news show. A crazy weekend in California for AMA Pro Flat Track. And did the U.S. return to form in Latvia? We have so much great stuff to talk about, so let's get to it.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Chaparral Motorsports. Visit Chaparral Motorsports online at chapmoto.com.
We're going to start you off with AMA Pro Flat Track Racing and round 14 of 15 from the Calistoga Half Mile at Calistoga Speedway in Calistoga, California. Say that 100 times really fast. For the sixth time this season, the championship changed hands. And outgoing champ Brad Baker on the factory Harley-Davidson finally got a win. So, to the highlights we go. Well, let's take you close to the halfway point. Leading the way is number 5, Ramsar Winery's Jake Johnson, his sponsor, the title sponsor of the event. No extra pressure. In second is factory Harley-Davidson's number 1, Brad Baker. And on lap 12 of 25, Baker put the move on Johnson for the lead. All the while, the two duking it out for the title, Rogers Racing Jared Mees on the 9 and number 42 Villa Esparza Crosley Radio's Brian Smith were in 3rd and 4th. But Smith had been smoking like a freight train for the past couple of laps, and the black flag came out. Now he has to pull out of the race or ignore it and possibly a disqualification. Fast forward to the final lap, Baker is on his own for the win. But on the track, Smith beats Mees and Johnson to the checkers. But hold the phone. Because Smith ignored that black flag, he is disqualified from the race results. No points. So it's Mees who was 9 points down when this all started. And you can see, no Smith in sight. But it was the first win of the season for number 1 Brad Baker, so let's hear from him.
Thank you very much, Barry. I'll tell you what, I needed that, that's for sure. I've been getting tasted a little bit of victory, doing some outlaw racing here lately, and it just kind of sparked me back up and got my confidence back. It's been an up and down season for both me and the team between breaking my arm and just having different problems throughout the year, and we knew we had what it took to do, so just trying to line all the pieces together.
Our 6th lead change of the season, and now Mees has 13 over Smith, with Johnson just 3 back from that. 1 more to go. Awesome. Moving on to the pro singles race, this one came down to number 67M, Davis Fisher, and 17J, Jared Vanderkoy. It looked like it would be a race to the finish until Vanderkoy got out of the groove, tried to gas it up, and almost high-sided himself to the moon, leaving Fisher all alone to take his first career AMA Pro Singles win. After 5 second-place finishes this season, he was due. What's domination? Pole position, most laps led, and of course, the win. That's how Warren, Oregon's Fisher did that. 6 the difference heading into the final race in Pomona, California in 2 weeks' time. The annual Motocross of Nations was held over the weekend in the Eastern Europe nation of Latvia. And while Team USA were the favorites going into the competition, each of our 3 riders, Ryan Dungey, Eli Tomac, and Jeremy Martin, found themselves on the ground during their respective races. Martin got the worst of it, as the newly crowned Lucas Oil 250 Pro Motocross champion suffered a broken big toe during Saturday's qualifying, then painfully gutted out 2 finishes to help get Team USA on the overall podium. The overall winners were the French team, led by Kawasaki's Gauthier Paulin, who finished first in both motos to lead the French to only their 2nd win in the event's 68-year history. Speaking of Paulin, he's attached to other big motocross news of the day. Despite his epic performance over the weekend, Paulin will now change teams and ride for Honda in 2015. Why? Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Because it was announced today at the Intermont Motorcycle Show in Cologne, Germany, that 4-time AMA Supercross champion Ryan Villopoto has signed to race at KRT Kawasaki, Gauthier Paulin's old team, in what will likely be his final year of professional racing. Villopoto's still nursing that bum knee that kept him out of the Nationals this summer. He'll move to Europe next spring and race the FIM World Championships, We're still waiting for official word from Monster Energy, the primary backers of the deal, not to mention the FIM World Championships. Good luck to Ryan Villopoto on the big change and bringing home that world title. Oh, and RV Kawasaki's replacement here in the AMA circuit, Davey Millsaps and Will Hahn. Stay tuned for more major news on team changes as soon as midnight tonight. Keep your eye on RacerX Online for even more big news. Oh, it's coming. A crazy MotoGP race happened in Aragon, Spain over the weekend. Rain in the middle of the race opens up pit lane and allows riders to literally jump from one bike with slicks to a second bike with full rain tires. I'm talking feet on the pegs, jump to the next bike onto the pegs and take off. An interesting add to the drama and sprinkle in a bit of history being made. With Movistar Yamaha's Jorge Lorenzo getting his first win of the season, Alicia Spargaro being the first open class bike to make it on the podium, and Cal Crutchlow's first on a Ducati. Marc Marquez refused to come in and switch bikes. He stayed out on slick tires in the pouring rain and crashed. He still has 75 ticks in the bag. Now it's off to one of my faves, ATVs, where the CarMate Mountain Ridge GNCC made for some exciting racing at the 11th round on the 2014 AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Series presented by Maxxis. NFAB Ampro Yamaha's Walker Fowler captured his 4th overall victory in the last 5 rounds, bringing him within 5 points of Chris Borich's national championship lead with only 2 rounds remaining. Man, it is getting good. As the green flag dropped for the XC1 Pro ATV class, it was RacingPowersports.com CST racer Adam McGill who claimed the $250 Twin Air DeRisi Racing XC1 Hole Shot Award and led the pack into the opening lap of racing. The track conditions were very dusty, so McGill's hole shot gave him an edge on the first lap. But Fowler was close. Later, Fowler would say that he sat back from McGill to avoid the dust each racer was kicking up. Lap 2 drama as Fowler decided to skip his pit stop in order to take the lead from McGill and avoid all that dust, you see. And what about Borich? The points leader was forced to come in for a brief rear brake adjustment in his first pit stop. He'd slip back to 5th. As for Fowler, he made it back to the pits for a successful fuel stop. Then he held on to the lead until the end. Borich was able to salvage a 5th place finish, but the points bleeding continues as Fowler continues his hot streak.
The second time this year that a pit strategy has got us the win. Hats off to Adam because he was riding so well, and it's just same thing. Like I could barely reel him in.
Fowler's recent run of wins has allowed him to make up a substantial amount of points, and now only 5 separate the top 2. Marshall Goings tightened up the XC2 Pro-Am Championship after a big win at the 11th round, bringing himself within 5 points of Cole Richardson. Richardson was forced to stop in the pits to change his air filter. 5 points the difference in both Pro and Pro-Am. The final 2 races are going to be very exciting. Now, last week we showed you highlights from the GNCC motorcycles, where factory FMF KTM's Kailub Russell wrapped up his 2nd national title in a row. And now we welcome him to the RacerX show, all the way from North Carolina. Welcome to the show, Kailub. Congratulations on the championship.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been pretty good and a great season.
Let's talk about that season. Why don't you recap it a little bit for us? We know we have 2 races left, but how's it gone for you so far? You've been so dominant.
Yeah, it's we got off to a rough start in Florida, but we kind of dug deep and rebounded pretty fast and got a 3 straight wins in a row and got myself back in title contention. And it was shaping up to be a real dogfight right down to the finish with me and Charlie, and he ended up getting hurt, which is a bummer. I was really looking forward to battling him straight, all year long, and it's just it makes the job feel so much more accomplishing when you got somebody you're battling for, that tightly. And at the end of the day, it's pretty good when you can come out on top in those types of situations.
One of the things I want to talk about for right now, what's going to happen in the next couple rounds, is very interesting. You are going to actually be racing a KTM 150. Can you tell us about that motorcycle, why you're going to be racing it the next 2 rounds, and what's it really all about?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I actually just got finished up riding it today. This was the first time I rode it, and we're 4 or 5 days away from the next race, so I'm a little behind the 8 ball, but it's all for a good cause. I got the championship wrapped up, and my buddy Rory Mead, he had a spinal cord injury earlier in the year, and it kind of just over the summer break, I got to thinking, with Charlie out, I could wrap up the championship early. So I got this bike and got my mechanic and everybody behind me to supply me the parts and the bike. And I bought the bike, and we're going to be raffling it off. And it's like I said, it's all for a good cause. I'm splitting the money with Rory Mead, and the rest I'm going to use to help get my wife and probably my dad over to ISDE and myself. And but yeah, the tickets, you can buy them at ShaneWatts.com, and I'm selling them at the last 2 races. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be different, and hopefully, I'm not saying I'm going to win on it, but it's definitely capable. I mean, it's been done before, and it's gonna, the stars might have to align for it to happen, but it's gonna be maybe for a lap or 2, and after that it might just be too much work.
Well, it's awesome, man. You're a great friend to Rory for doing that, and quite an ambassador for the sport. And of course, if you do win on that bike, it's going to be worth more. There's going to be more money that's going to charity and to the ISDE. So a little bit of extra pressure for you right there, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing. It's going to make it tough to give it away if I win on that thing, because I'm going to want to keep it so bad. But it's pretty sweet, and I've had some awesome sponsors to help me out. Factory Services did the motor for me. My buddy Tony Hall, that thing is pretty fast. Like I said, I just got done riding it today, and it was I was actually pretty pumped on it. So it's shaping up pretty nice.
Well, good luck in the next couple races, and of course, we'll have all the highlights right here on the Racer X Show. Thanks for joining us, Kailub. Good luck.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Kailub. Right here on RacerTV.com, we're putting up the entire season of the Mountain Dew ATV MX National Championship. We've already posted the preseason show and round 1. Now, rounds 2 and 3, 22 minutes and 30 seconds of commercial-free ATVs. Something like this.
20 got bumped coming out of the gate. He is about mid-pack and runs into the back of the 84 of Thomas Brown, and it's Natali. You can't make the course any wider or you're off the side of the hill. And look, these guys are really tightened up in a huge crash. Thomas Brown and Josh Creamer have come together. Rastrelli and the rest of these guys are going to have to roll through this section. Rocky Mountain ATV MC on board. He's going to get pinched off even though he had the good gate pick. And Chad Wainanen will emerge. These guys are barely able to get over that vision problems. Look at him trying everything to get to 13 and doubling in front.
We've been telling you about the remastered races from this year's Rocky Mountain ATV MC AMA National Motocross Championship presented by AMSOIL at Loretta Lynn's. We're putting up 14 races a week for 4 weeks. And right now, here on RacerTV.com, we've put up another 14 races. And the action looks something like this.
On your way right here, Jeremy Martin. We've got a gate drop right now. Sean Cantrell was in the dead center. Cantrell, look at that. He's leaning to the right, switches that line up, and goes right around him on the other side. How about that?
The MX Sports trackside office.
Sorry, buddy.
Let's go racing here. These are not 85s. That long short shoot into the GoPro 10 commandments again.
He's got something cooking now. He triples where Nichols cannot, and boom, just like that. So easy.
A rider like Raynard, who has won races at the very, very, very highest level of the game.
Happy and Chase Evans, come to registration. Bring your medals. There's the checker flag. He is going to take the win.
Want to get out and watch some racing? We want you to. GNCC Round 12 in St. Clairsville, Ohio. Go ride or spectate. Talk to Kailub. Endurocross lands in Denver, Colorado at the National Western Events Center. That's fun. And the WMX is in Englishtown, New Jersey at K-Rock Raceway Park. Enjoy racing before winter hits.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Chaparral Motorsports. Visit Chaparral Motorsports online at chapmoto.com.
Well, it's all the time we have for now. If you want to get in touch with me, shoot me an email, greg@racertv.com. We hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. Make sure you check out all of our social media links on Twitter and Instagram. It's at RacerXShow. On YouTube, if you want to follow us, it's the Racer X Show. Like us, make sure you follow us, do all that kind of stuff. You can follow me personally on Twitter. It's at Greg White. So, for the fine crew here at the Racer X Show, presented by Chaparral Motorsports and Racer TV, I am Greg. And remember, we are all racing all the time. Bye-bye.